the inner dissolution is the dissolution based on 5 elements. We have 5 elements in the body. What are these? Like earth element, that is our flesh. Water element, that we have a blood. May, then we have a heat. Lung, we have a wind, that is breathing. So these 4 elements is going to dissolve. Without dissolving, death will not happen. So now in the second dissolution, the earth element will dissolve into the water element. When earth element dissolve into the water element, suppose if there is some things, or like a sand, one bag of sand, if we just pick that sand and put into the water, and if we take back, it will be so heavy. Suppose before inserting into the water, it is like light, maybe like 10 kilos. But after putting into the water, and if we take back, maybe it will like 15 or 20 kilo. So like that, while we are sleeping, or like when the death process is happening, when this earth element dissolve into the water element, we will feel that our body is such a heavy like a mountain. That's why the person who is on the death bed, sometimes, can you get up? So they will say that, no, I cannot. It's very difficult to get up. Before, very easy to get. Now it is very difficult to get. That means gradually the earth element is dissolving into the water elements. Then water elements will dissolve into the fire element. Then fire elements will dissolve into the wind element. Now, when is the time to dissolve the breathing? Wind element. So then earth element will dissolve into the water. Then water will dissolve into the fire. Water dissolving into the fire, we will feel very thirsty, because suppose the water put onto the hot pan and make it hot. So when this water is put into the hot pan, red pan, this water will evaporate and dry up. So like that, our water element will dissolve into the fire element. Then we will feel like a thirsty. When we feel thirsty, somebody will offer us glass of water. This glass of water is not going to help us. We will still feel thirst. There is no significance in quenching the thirst, because it is not happening a general thirsty. Actually, this is happening with the dissolution process. So like that, then earth element into the fire, water element into the fire, then fire element into the wind. So when the fire elements dissolve into the wind element, so we may feel so cold, very cold. So this kind of experience will happen. So when this kind of experiences happen, then we should be actually knowing that again, the inner dissolution is actually happening. Now, still we have wind, still we are breathing. Now this wind element is going to dissolve into the consciousness. We have consciousness. So when this wind element dissolve into the consciousness, in Karma Lingpa's teaching, there is a Khukbanga. Ha, hu, ha, hu, ha. So if you observe properly, the person who is dying, there will be a 5 heavy breathing. Actually, the person very slow, but when the person is going to cease the breath, this 5 experience will happen. Ha, oh, ha, ha. Lastly, it will happen little bit stronger, little bit in a vibrant way. This is called Khukbanga. So when this happens, our outer breathing, the gross breathing, ceases off, and that moment, clinically, they said that this is a death. The person is actually passed away. Person has died. But in reality, still another third dissolution hasn't happened. So, although the breath is ceased off, breath has gone away from our body, still our consciousness is still intact in the body. Consciousness is not yet gone away from our body. So this is the reason why, like in Buddhist tradition, as soon as the person dies, we should not take him or her and put onto the fire and burn it, because still there is a consciousness residing. So now to dissolve the consciousness, to go, away from, to separate with the body, another third secret dissolution should happen. Sometimes we may say that in accident, people die instantly. The question is, do they experience this kind of dissolution? Do they have to go this kind of dissolution process? Yes, they will go, but instant. Everything will be experienced instantly. So therefore, if I see my hand like this, I can see everything, how my hand looks like. I can see color, I can see the how long my nail is. But if it is like this, it doesn't mean that it has jumped and reached here. It is passing away. But because of so quick, I cannot see the color, I cannot see the nail, how long, how sharp. But if it is moving like this, if it happens gradually, then I can see. But like somebody, when he passed away in the accident or instantly with some cause and condition, the process happens, but we are not able to experience, or we are not able to catch this. This is the difference. So therefore, we should always pray that our death should happen in the process, so that we can, we can practice and we can understand, and that's possible of getting enlightenment. So now how to get enlightenment is, again, we have to understand the clear nature of mind. Just now we are talking just about the process, how we are dying. So now, still, the consciousness and the body is intact. The consciousness is not yet gone out. Now how do we know the consciousness resides in the body? How do we know? When we touch, some people, we feel warm, and they do not change their, the facial expression, or they do not become something dilapidated. It's still like more than a living person. So they remain like this, simply meaning there is a consciousness residing in the body. Still consciousness is there. Now here, sometimes like people, they get mistake. This can happen to everybody. But the timing, how long the consciousness will, after ceasing the breath, after the breath goes away, how long the consciousness will remain in the body depends on individual. Depends on the bodily structure, depends on the nadis, channels, and how the practice you have. Same animal or same fruit, if you keep, one fruit gets decayed. One becomes, suppose like if you keep the few potatoes together, one potato becomes decayed or rotten or something, another remains so fresh. So like that, our body has also got some kind of, this kind of phenomena where, depends on our THUKDAM. That means depends on nadis, depends on our bodily structures, and it depends on whatever, even fooding, everything, all cause and condition. So even the ordinary people, when they pass away, when they remain 3 days, sometimes remain 7 days, so we say that, oh, he or she is in meditation. Not necessarily that somebody has to be in meditation, because as long as the consciousness doesn't separate from the body, this body is going to remain fresh. If consciousness doesn't go for a week or month, it's going to remain for a month fresh. So this is the reason why they're remaining fresh. And one example, when we go to the market, we find the leg of a goat that is cut and hanged, and is still moving now. So what is the reason why it is moving? Because, of course, the gross level of breathing ceased off. He or that meat is not breathing. Yet, why it's moving? We feel so pain, thinking that the animal might be feeling a pain. It is not that animal is feeling pain. When it moves, that means the consciousness and the body is not yet separated. Power of consciousness makes that body to move. Because they cut the animal, then very quickly they work and they just put to sale. So that means outer breathing ceased off, yet inner breathing, the consciousness and the body hasn't separated. So therefore, that meat still moves. Outer breathing is ceased now. When the outer breathing ceases off, we just be in the blank state, suddenly. So actually, that is actually a moment where the superior kind of a practitioner can get enlightenment. So when this kind of outer desolation and inner desolation, before our breath cease off, they just simply sit and they try to be in meditation. They try to be in meditation in the deep samadhi. So when they be in the samadhi, so this desolation process happens itself and there's no disturbances for their practice, so they get enlightenment and they be in the THUKDAM. THUKDAM means, but this meditation, we can see that some people are dying like this. Some people hold Dorji like this and they die like this. Actually, they seize the breath, and this is that what we are going to talk is how we can remain, how can we die like this.